I also want to take a moment before we dive into the 4 platforms that I'm going to be talking about to thank ThriftBooks. They have sponsored this video. I'm really excited to be working with them. We will be talking about them a little bit more in detail at the end of this video and kind of comparing the different platforms and what might work best for you for your reselling business. But thank you again, ThriftBooks, for sponsoring this video. And I'm not necessarily doing all of these in any particular order. I do have some notes. I want to make sure that I'm accurately sharing the information. I did cheat a little bit and double checked with ChatGPT about some things with the FBA. If I'm misquoting FBA, again, this is just a high level overview. It's not meant to be a deep dive. If you do want a deep dive on eBay fees and how to calculate them properly, I did make a video last year about that. I will put it in the description and also add it to the cards of this video. And eBay, it helps you kind of understand how to calculate it and what's all involved. We have the Beast FBA. Now, these are going to be estimated fees. I did not go into their policies and do a deep dive and all of that. As resellers, we know the basics, right? We know that we have our monthly subscription to sell if you're a professional, or if you're not a professional account and you're a personal account, you have the 99-cent per transaction charge, okay? And if you're not selling 40 books a month, it's actually cheaper and makes more sense to do it that way. However, with a professional account, you only get so much cubic storage space in an FBA warehouse that they allow you to use. You have to have a professional account to get more storage space. You have to maintain a high IPI, which is like kind of your credit score, I guess, with Amazon. Low returns, good quality items, no fakes, nothing derogatory pretty much with your account. Or if there is anything derogatory, it's minimal or it's quickly fixed. Now, I know there's like this referral charge. It's like $1.80 or 15%, whichever is greater per sale. I don't know a lot about that, but I guess there's like that kind of referral charge. Then we have your charge for the size of the book, and that is to store the book and when it's sold. So the numbers that I was able to get is like anywhere from $3.22 and above, depending on the weight of the book, 6 ounces or more. It's significantly higher if your book is over a pound. Now, this also does not include the fee to ship it in. Now, UPS is significantly discounted, and now with their new API, you don't have split shipment, so you're not going to have multiple boxes that you have to send in. But because of that, now they did bump it up a little bit. Enough to where it's very noticeable. So what used to cost me like a 30-pound box to send into Amazon to one location used to cost me like anywhere from $4 to $5, depending which warehouse it decided to send it to. I, being in Michigan, had a lot of my stuff going to either Pennsylvania, Illinois, or Florida. Those were the 3 places that almost always my stuff was getting sent to. Now it's kind of getting sent all over the place, but typically staying in like the Midwest, East Coast area. Now, with the new API change and what it looks like I'm spending no less than $7 usually for a shipment, which granted, it's not split shipments. They're all going into one shipment, so that is nice. But yeah, I'm looking at $6 to $7 now. It's around $7. That's just kind of like what I'm always thinking about when I'm getting a shipment ready, is that I'm preparing myself for about $7. And that's using their UPS discount. I have never done my own like FedEx or USPS or anything like that. I've never done my own shipping label with FBA. I know that is an option. And I know a lot of bulk FBA sellers that do pallets and stuff like that. They have like freight charges and they are a whole different beast. I'm just talking about like an average Joe small seller like myself that doesn't have a huge functioning warehouse. That's what it usually looks like for me. So I also have to factor that in on top of just like the fees for when this book sells. And then we have storage. So 6 months or longer, you're looking at 87 cents per cubic foot. Again, this may be different now. These are just estimated costs. If anything with these costs, they probably have gone up. Okay. And that's January through September. October through December, they bump it up at approximately $2.40 per cubic foot. Now, why do they do that? It's Christmas time. They Definitely want to discourage stale inventory being in the warehouse around Christmas time because they're so busy. Again, I did cheat a little bit with ChatGPT and kind of double checked with them and asked as of 2025. So if any of these exact numbers are incorrect, you can definitely go on Amazon and figure out all the information yourself. This is just, again, a high-level overview of their fees and to honestly understand how freaking complicated it is. Because when you are looking at profitable books, you have to take all these fees into consideration too. Is it really worth it to be sending in $2 and $4 profit books to Amazon FBA? I would argue that it isn't. Even if you're a bulk seller, over time, especially if those don't have amazing sell-through ranks, I just don't know that it's worth it, especially with repricers, because eventually it can be a race to the bottom with FBA. With Pangobooks, it's a 20% fee, you get 80%. Media mail shipping, buyer always pays. There's no monthly cost. There's no listing fees. It is very much like Poshmark, but for books. And you can use it either as in-store credit or you can cash out. If you get people to sign up using your link, you get in-store credit. It's not a ton, but I mean, it's still credit, especially if you have a network of people that like to buy and resell the books and kind of just, it's meant for readers. I would say this isn't a heavy reseller marketplace, and I don't think they want to be. I actually interviewed Pangobooks a few years back when they first started, and I just don't think, like, Esther was really great to speak to on the channel and she was very informative, but I don't think their audience goal is necessarily having a strong reseller presence. I think it's more meant for readers who want to purge what they've already read and they want to buy something new. They kind of want to do a swap out, or maybe they want to connect and it's kind of like Goodreads, but you can buy and sell, you know? So I think that is the goal of that platform. That said, that is the reason that I use that platform for reselling my nostalgic stuff. So I put my Goosebumps up on there. I put Mary-Kate and Ashley, Rugrats. Recently, I just sold a chapter book of Moesha. I don't know if you guys remember that TV show, but that was one of my favorites. And I recently sold that one. They're not selling for like crazy big money. Most of my price points are like $2 to $5. But I'm selling frequently enough throughout the week that it is nice to just kind of have what would typically be a dud I can sell on Pangobooks. But their fees are very, very, very simplified. And I think it's by design because it's meant for literally anyone to be able to list and sell a book on. Next, we have eBay. Again, I'll put my video in the description of this video and in the cards about the fee breakdown of how this works. When I made that video, it was $14.95. Of course, since then it has gone up. It is now 15.3% in the book category. Books is one of the highest fee categories. I don't know why. I don't know what kind of justifies it. Maybe they're making fees less for certain categories because they want to encourage a market, a specific market on eBay, like clothing, Nikes, trading cards, whatever. Like I know with live selling on eBay, it's only specific categories. So maybe they're trying to be like cool and attract Gen Z or something. I don't know. But as far as books, we kind of got the short stick and we have 15.3% plus 30 cents per transaction or 40 cents if your sale is over $10. So for me, it's always 40 cents because my sale is typically over $10. Very rarely is my sale under 10 because I really don't like to list a book less than like $12-ish. And then you have the managed payment fee, which is 2.7% plus 25 cents. And then you also have to factor in if you chose to promote that listing. I promote all my listings at 3%. In my mind, it is no different than if someone were to make me an offer and I accept that offer. It's still kind of the same concept. But it also means with having promoted listings that I am a little bit pickier with some of the offers that I do get for people because I do have that promoted listing on. But the nice thing about eBay is when I do get offers, eBay does warn me, hey, this is a promoted listing. So that way I can make a little bit educated decision. But again, usually my offers are not crazy terrible. And so their offer percentage plus the 3% of promoted fees, it's usually still good enough of a discount and not crazy that I'll just accept it. Because again, I'm a reseller. I want things moving and I'm not a warehouse. So that's how I personally approach it. Now, I want to mention that it's based on final value fees. Like, so what are they considering a final value to charge all these fees? Is it just the price? Is it price plus shipping? What is it? So it's price plus shipping plus tax plus any handling fees that you add to your product item. So I don't charge handling fees. Some people do, but that is what the full final value is: price plus shipping plus tax plus handling. I did double check this on eBay, so unless anything has changed since the launch of this video, that's what that looks like. Now, as far to list on eBay, you can get stores. I think it's called a basic store. I get 1,000 fixed listings, so like fixed price. I get 1,000 of those a month for free. That does also include the auto relisted items. I don't do auctions. I really don't. I do them once in a blue moon when I'm like really unsure, and usually because it's a book lot. So auctions are 25 cents. You can get 250 free auctions with my store subscription with eBay. It's for specific categories, and usually, if I'm remembering right, a lot of the categories are like video games, electronics, clothing, like just stuff that I don't sell very often, let alone I would sell in an auction. If you don't get an eBay store, my eBay store is like 26 or 27 bucks a month, something like that. If you don't want an eBay store, you can just have just a general personal account. Like, you don't have to have a formal store and subscription. I think you get 250 free fixed listings per month. I don't know how many auctions. So you can start small and work your way up. I love having that 1,000 because it gives me a really good amount of wiggle room. I usually have a good amount left by the end of the month, but if something crazy happens and I get a huge influx in potential books that I can list 100 in a day and not really worry about like, am I going over or getting too close to my limit? So again, that's why I decided to go with the store. And then also just like having different discounts and perks that go along with having that subscription with eBay. Every quarter you get a coupon for a discount towards shipping supplies. So there's a lot of different perks that come with the store too that I personally like. I think the Terapeak subscription comes with my store. I don't think you have that if you don't have a subscription. I could be wrong. So just different things that I think kind of validate that cost. Now, finally, we have ThriftBooks. ThriftBooks is a platform that I'm using a lot now, and ThriftBooks, zero fees. Zero fees. Why? Because ThriftBooks is a buyback program. So it's not a marketplace where you have to list, take pictures, do research, find sale comps, like do all of that. You're literally scanning a barcode, they're saying yes or no, and they're sending it off to you. It's similar to sell back your book. However, the acceptance rate is a little different. They're a little bit pickier with what they'll accept, but what they accept, they pay significantly more for. Like, my average accepted book on Sell Back Your Book is anywhere from 8 cents to 25 cents. Like, anything more than 25 cents on Sell Back Your Book is a big deal. ThriftBooks has been a total game changer for me, especially because I'm transitioning away from sending in a certain price point of book to Amazon FBA. And I'm just tired of Amazon FBA. If you watch my recent video, I kind of explained that. So with ThriftBooks, there's no cost. You just have to make sure you have a box. You have maybe some filler if the box isn't full all the way, like maybe either cut it down. You can kind of cut around the sides and cut down the box and fold it over and kind of do that, or have like filler so that way the books aren't moving all around when you send in your shipment. But you need to have a box and you need to have a way to print off your label, and that's literally it. It's so super fast to make an account. It connects with your PayPal. That's how you get paid. Or you have the option to have credit. So again, it's going back to like, if you are a reseller and maybe you sell primarily on eBay, but you have some duds that really are like low value, but ThriftBooks will accept them. You could do that and then even, source on ThriftBooks, or maybe you're a reader like myself. I'm a book reseller, but I also like to read too, and you could use it for in-store credit too. So it just depends how you want your payouts. It's very appealing to resellers, obviously, especially for those like myself that are getting books in bulk, but it's very appealing to just like the stay-at-home mom that wants to clean out their kid's bookshelf and get some extra cash. It's very appealing to a retiree that loves garage selling and thrift stores, doesn't want like a full-on reselling business. Maybe they just want to enjoy the hunt and go out and find treasures and get paid for finding those treasures. I think that, is something that is really appealing about ThriftBooks as well. It's a mobile app or the desktop. It's very, very easy to use. And I love the program. Like, I genuinely cannot say that enough, how much I love the program. So definitely give it a shot, check it out, see if you like it. And if you do, tell them that you like it. Tell them that Katey sent you. Tell other resellers about it. I know a lot of resellers don't do exclusively books, but you do a little bit of everything. And if you do a little bit of everything, I highly recommend ThriftBooks, because then you don't have the hassle of necessarily having to list it on eBay. You can just get the cash and keep it moving. In this economy, with stuff that we have going on, being an entrepreneur is scary. Cash flow, getting cash quickly is really, really helpful right now. And there's no shame in that. Like, get your quick nickel and keep it moving, because then you can reinvest that into inventory. You can pay your bills. You can keep it moving. So I do recommend ThriftBooks. If you haven't, give them a shot. See if you like it. I have really enjoyed the process. And that's it, you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.